What's going on, guys? Chris from AutoAcademics here. We have the opportunity today to spend some time in the all-new Mercedes Sprinter van. We're here today in Charleston, South Carolina to experience this van on some city streets as well as some highway driving. And, just to get a first impression of what this van is all about and what kind of improvements they've made since the previous generation. If you're not familiar with Sprinter, you've probably seen one of these vans around doing some sort of delivery or something like that. It probably had a picture of cakes on the side of it or some sort of delivery company or what have you, because that's always been the primary basis for these vans. But in our case, since we typically deal with vehicles that the average consumer might want to buy, we're in a 12-passenger version of this Sprinter. Now, you've got to forgive me because while I'm driving on this first drive, I'm following navigation as well. So if I pause for a moment, it's because I'm trying to listen to what the navigation's telling me and where I'm supposed to be going. The outside of this van has taken on some of Mercedes' newer design features, such as the way that the headlights look. This particular van has full LED headlights. It has the LED daytime running lights, and it also has the full suite of security measures that you would find in your garden variety Mercedes-Benz. There's a single side door for entering the passenger area in the back. It's power operated, so you can open and close it with the push of a button. This van is also equipped with the high roof line, so it makes it a little easier to reach those back seats. No ducking of the head required. There's power seats with memory functions and electronic climate control as well. So even though this is a commercial vehicle, it does give you some of those creature comforts that you might expect in something a little more luxurious. This van is optioned with the leather interior. It might be MB Tex, but I've got to say it's rather soft, and it has leather inserts on the armrest as well. Most notable though is the new infotainment screen that comes on these Sprinter vans. You can get it in a 7 or a 10-inch variant. This one in particular, I believe it might be the 10-inch. It's a nice long wide screen. All of the touch features work well, and especially with something like satellite radio where you've got a ton of stations that you're trying to get to, instead of having to either click through one by one or use a knob or something like that to scroll through, you can literally just swipe with your finger and cover a number of stations at one time. It works pretty well. All Sprinter vans now come with a technology called Mercedes Pro Connect. And what that does is it allows better use for fleet managers to be able to keep track of and to manage and to work with the vehicles that are in their fleets. Everything from basic maintenance all the way up to being able to send messages to the driver, to being able to set up geofencing for where the vehicle might be, to theft deterrent. I mean, there are a ton of different features, and there's even a tier that allows you to do some sort of your own personal solutions. So if you've got a large company, a large fleet company that you've already been able to put together some specifics that you need for your company, this Mercedes Pro Connect allows you to put all this stuff together on top of their system. So basically you're making an app for, or making an app on their app. It's some really cool stuff, and I think it's something that fleet managers will come to really value. Mercedes Pro Connect will be available for free for the first 3 years of ownership, and then after that it will be some sort of a subscription basis that Mercedes hasn't specifically given us any information on as far as pricing is concerned. This particular van has the 3-liter turbo diesel engine in it. I'll put the horsepower and torque ratings somewhere on the screen because I don't have them fresh in my head right now. It's made it to a 7-speed automatic transmission, and you definitely notice the torquiness of this turbo diesel engine at lower speeds, because that's primarily where owners of this vehicle are going to need it the most. Along with the 3-liter turbo diesel, there is also going to be an all-new 4-cylinder gas version that will be available, and it will be mated with a 9-speed automatic transmission. And they didn't have any of those available for us to drive today, but they do say that they're coming soon, so that's something else for people to look forward to if they aren't interested in the diesel version of the vehicle. The suspension is more on the softer side, and the steering is very light, so you kind of just glide over railroad tracks and things like that. The turning radius is very tight, so making a U-turn or, doing some sort of a quick tight radius turn is actually not that hard, even in the long wheelbase version of this. There are plenty of windows, so if you do look over your shoulder, you can see what's around you fairly easily, but it is a large vehicle. Fortunately, going back to some of that safety tech that I alluded to earlier, you've got plenty of cameras around the van so that you get the full 360-degree vision. So I hope you guys like this first look, and literally it's an exclusive first look of the all-new Mercedes Sprinter van. It's something a little bit different than what we typically do as far as our reviews go, but that's because we're giving it to you first this time. It's a little bit different of an environment, and so we got to get you the information however we can. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, because we do have quite a few other events like this coming up with some all new vehicles that we're going to be sharing with you guys first. So if you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to our channel. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. Thanks for watching.